How to compete with engineers? Really? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you would have that kind of a question. But important thing for you is not how to compete with engineers, but to basically understand what the whole fuss is about. A lot of people think that CAT is taken up by engineers, which is by the way true, and a lot of engineers, which is again true, and most of the people who are in B schools are again engineers, which is also absolutely true. Does that mean that non-engineers do not stand a chance? No, that is not the case. I want to bash all those myths right now that you are having about the relationship of engineering with MBA and CAT. So listen to me carefully if you are a not non-engineer, and you should also listen to me carefully if you are an engineer. Both ways you will get the benefit of it. Feel free to share this video with your other friends who would be in the same dilemma. Maybe they will also find some help. And if you have more questions related to it that I might not be able to address in this current video, post that in the comment section. I'll try to respond there through comments. So let's take a look at some interesting trends. By the way, a trend that is fading away. And these are the newspaper articles. CNBC says 2.93 lakh candidates, engineers dominate with 100 percentiles. If I'm not wrong, that except for one person, every other 100 percentiler was an engineer. Oh, very dastardly sort of situation, na? Oh my god. Second thing, from Education Times, why male engineers dominate the CAT 100 percentile club? Arey, I think engineers eventually have the advantage. Maybe the non-engineers should concede the defeat. Okay, and I don't think that we will be able to do that. Indian Express says, why mostly engineers crack CAT? See, these are the kind of things when you read, then you feel that you do not stand a chance being a non-engineer. But no, that's not the case. Absolutely not. Let me just show you something very interesting. Today we are going to discuss the batch structure. Through the batch structure, I'll tell you how that trend is changing. I'm going to take top IIMs. I'll also talk about statistical aspects on the basis of why engineers dominate the platform still, and what sort of dominance is that? Is it actually a dominance? We'll also talk about some advantages that engineering people have in general, on an average, typically. And then I'll talk about the strategy for non-engineers to defeat those advantages of engineers. Let's see. This is the IIM Ahmedabad's batch structure. Take a look at that. Remove this portion, 35%. Most of the work experience people who are currently in IIM Ahmedabad come from industrial, finance, public sector, consulting and others. Even if I remove the industrial portion, of which most of them could be engineers, a significant portion of the batch is a non-engineer batch, non-BE, BTech sort of batch. And that is confirmed by this Indian Express thing. About 39% of the batch comprises students from non-engineering disciplines, and that's a significant percentage, by the way. And I'll tell you why. Somewhere around 90% of the whole batch a decade ago or so was dominated by engineers. Now that has come down to 60, 66, things like that. And in this case, you can check that as well, So that's a great change. Let's take a look at the batch structure of IIM Bangalore. Why just Ahmedabad, Not to prove my point. Take a look at that. These are all first generation IIMs, by the way, top B schools. In the PGP class of 2023, 83% of these people were engineers. Now they have reduced. Maybe in PGP class of 2025, this number may go down slightly. And that's okay, na? Great. That means they are valuing non-engineers. Oh, IIM Calcutta. They really love their analytics, so they have provided good graphs. I have not made them. This is from their own website. Take a look at the batch of 2023 and 2024 and see the difference in number of students who are from engineering background. Right now, there are fewer engineering students as compared to 2023. That's a promising trend. But yes, there are more engineers. So there are three reasons for that. Understand these reasons carefully. The very first reason is that there are more engineering applicants. If more engineering applicants are going to be there, statistically, there are going to be more engineering recruits. In general, if I say that, okay, out of 100 applicants, 80 are engineers. Then, if not 80%, then maybe 50-60% of the batch will be filled by engineers. More number of people, there is a better chance for more number of them to be recruited within the MBA college. So this is what? Just statistics here. You don't have to worry about it. If more number of other people will fill, then there is a better chance for that kind of reflection to take place. So don't think that engineers dominate because of their skills, at least from this point of view. One is just statistics. Second thing is, of course, CAT is QA and DILR dominated. There are three sections. One is quant, other is DILR, data interpretation, logical reasoning, and then you have verbal. Engineers have an advantage. Why? Because their entire discipline is quite quantitative in nature. So in general, engineers fare better or are comfortable with quant and DI especially, if not LR, because it requires a lot of quantitative skills. Not every engineer was like that or is like that. I was not like that, by the way. Right now also, I teach verbal. I don't teach quants, I don't teach DILR. But when I had to take my own CAT exam, I worked hard for that. I got the score. That's absolutely fine. But for me, the penchant was slightly more towards language and literature. And I am an engineer. There are people like that. But domination in general happens in this manner. So in that case also, more engineering recruits can be there. So it is about skill set. You can build that skill set. So again, engineers do not have that kind of an advantage. You might require a bit of more effort, but that's okay. The third reason is growth in the tech-backed business. Now that's quite interesting. Every single thing is tech-backed. Every single thing is application-based. Engineers have some advantage in that because their entire studies are according to it. So by means of profile, a lot of MBA schools prefer to have those kind of people because later on they would want to go for product management profiles. But you have just seen that IIMs are not choosing their cohort on the basis of this. So definitely growth in tech-backed business is there. But again, they check for the skills, not the engineers especially. Anyway, so it's about market requirement that can also skew it slightly in the favor of engineers. None of these things, by the way, constitute to your lack. And every single thing you can change according to you. So first of all, if you are not an engineer, no need to fear. So what is going to be the strategy if you are not an engineer? Couple of things. One, you have diversity. This is your advantage. This is not your strategy, this is your advantage. If you are coming from BBA streams or if you are coming from BA, you have an advantage that you are diverse in the batch and they give you the reward for that diversity. Second thing is you might have, in general, good strength in verbal, especially if you are coming from humanities background and if you have done a lot of literature studies or you have read a lot, things like that, or you have participated significantly in things of public speaking and alike. Logical reasoning is neutral. It is logical reasoning. It's not data interpretation. Data interpretation can be slightly quantitative. Logical reasoning can be for everybody. So if you also have been a good puzzle solver, then also this is something which is good for both of them. So here you do not form a disadvantage. But again, cultivating LR is quite easy if you do daily practice. If you solve a puzzle daily, your mind will nourish according to that. So you can do that very easily. Important thing is for you that you should start early. If you want to compete honestly with engineers in terms of the skill sets they have, and if you don't possess them, start early. It will take a bit of time for you. Only school level math is asked. Some of the people do not have mathematics in 11th class. That's absolutely fine. You might have a challenge that you have not studied math for a long time as compared to engineers. That's why start early thing is important. And you will have to do that. There is no way out. If you think that I would not study and I still want to compete with engineers on their skill set, sorry, it won't happen. And finally, you might have a lot of soft skills, and I've seen that non-engineers generally are quite good at presenting themselves. And this is also an advantage because it adds to the versatility quotient which B schools prefer. So whatever advantages are there for yourself, work on them. Whatever things that you have to do, start working on them and be consistent in your approach. For that, you can do one thing. If you think that you are a non-engineer and whether you will be able to take the challenge of CAT or not, try this thing called My IMS Zero. IMS Zero Fee program. It's zero fee. Basically, you enroll to IMS, you will get these features, some practice questions, some full-length mock, and see if you are able to attempt that without feeling overwhelmed. Now, I'm not saying that you will be able to crack it. I'm just saying that take a look at how the delivery has been made in terms of the learning content. If you understand that, it means you can do CAT. It is not about whether you can perform right now. If that had been possible, IMS would not have existed. We are here to tell you, we are here to teach you how to perform. But you just have to check that whether this kind of delivery works for me, this kind of content works for me or not. Interesting, no? So, that's all. By the way, reach out to us in terms of any sort of mentoring you require if you are a non-engineer. We'll try to help you out with that also. So go, start your preparation right away. There's not much time left.